Welcome back to the garden here in Neath, South Wales. Well, it's definitely getting a little bit colder now. I've got my coat on and my hat, and Tony and myself are going to venture out today to one of our favourite garden centres in Neath called Zoar's. The garden centre that we wanted to visit is situated in the town centre, so we had a little walk around first before we went there. There's been a lot of changes in Neath lately, and there's lots of new places that have popped up to eat. Some of them have got some lovely names, such as this one called the Mine and this one called the Welsh House. I haven't been in any of these yet, but they do look really inviting, even though it's a little bit cold to be sitting outside at the moment. We finally arrived at Zoar's, and there was loads of fruit trees as usual outside. This is where I bought both of my plum trees, and both of them have been really good quality. They've normally got quite a lot of plants here, but at the moment they've moved a lot of the things just to make room for some Christmas trees. They always sell a lot of real Christmas trees here, so half of the store is making space for them at the moment. I'm loving these bird tables, but I just couldn't possibly have one, not with two cats anyway. It's not fair. In the spring and summer, they have loads of plants here, and this is where I found the Alstroemeria Indian Summer. There was nowhere else local to me that had these available, but I can always depend on Zoar's to find things that I can't find anywhere else. In the centre of the store, they have a small courtyard, and I always love visiting this little part of the shop. They've got a lovely selection of garden ornaments, and this griffin was absolutely beautiful. He was really tall, and we were really tempted to buy him, but you never know, maybe we'll come back and get him next time. They have a lovely selection of stone ornaments here, and I was looking for something just to brighten up the black wall that I've got in the garden. I think the stone would look really effective next to the black paint. They had so much to choose from, I couldn't really decide what to get. I fell in love with this Gothic style mirror, but this was quite expensive at over £130. They also had a smaller one, and I was quite tempted by this too. You'll have to wait and find out at the end of the video, did I get anything or not. Inside the store, they've also got a good selection of inside plants. I did come away with an early Christmas present from Tony, a new watering can.
£4.50.
Not bad. This garden centre is also a gift store, and you always can find things here that you can't find elsewhere. With Christmas only around the corner now, they've also got a lot of Christmas decorations up for sale. These were absolutely beautiful, but I didn't buy anything for Christmas. On the way home, we just walked through the local market. These have also got their Christmas decorations up now, and it looks very festive inside. We did stop for some food before returning home. And I couldn't resist stopping to walk through these leaves. What a beautiful autumn sound. It gets dark so early now though, but we did manage to dodge the rain shower. Time to head back to the car and get home. I'm hoping that today will stay quite dry, as there's a few bits and pieces that I want to get done in the garden today. I want to trim back some of these lavender flowers, as these have definitely come to the end now. And I think I'll also trim back some of these roses, as the weather forecast is not that good this week. We've also got something that's getting into our compost bin. Whatever it is, they've made a hole in the fence and a hole into the compost bin. We did try and block the hole with a brick, but they've just burrowed underneath, as you can see. There's also something digging holes in my garden. I don't know what it is. At some point, we really have got to think about putting this tiki bar away for the winter. I think that'll be a job for next weekend. We normally cover it with some tarpaulin. I wanted to take a last look around the garden before the frosts get at the flowers. They're still looking good at the moment, but with the weather forecast as it's going to be this week, you think they're going to come to the end. The begonias are still blooming. And they're still looking lovely to look at. The cordyline that I potted up last week is now doing well in its new pot, and it's really filled out. It'll soon be time to cut back the bananas. Maybe a job for next weekend. Even the riciness is still looking good in the garden, but it won't stay that way for long. The colours in the garden are still looking very vibrant for this time of year. And the grasses are still looking spectacular with their flowers on the top. Tony sets to work putting up the new sign on the wall. I chose this design as it reminds me of my grandpa, and he was also an avid gardener, and when I was a child he used to take me around his garden and tell me the tales of the fairies that lived at the bottom. Such lovely memories, and that's why I've also got a tattoo of a fairy on my arm. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.